Bring the gifts.
Peasant. Right, meow.
Right behind you.
This?
Yeah.
I was really hoping he was going to chuck it at you. Right in the
Do you have a matching one?
Yeah. Cute. Sisters in Christ or sisters for life. I got them sweaters and it says sisters in Christ or sisters for life.
Aww.
That is cute.
Cute. Do you see it?
So we can wear it for our next episode.
Cute. That's cute.
I am going to wear it for the next episode. Yeah. So we'll be matching.
So the one time I remember to bring a shirt.
What up, my podcast people?
Welcome back to Motherhood Unhinged. My name's Chandra.
Courtney.
Jesse.
And Chelsea. Always keeping it just hilarious.
Frickin' fresh, baby.
Well, we are just enjoying our time here in cozy Missouri and southeast
Cozy.
Missouri, and it's
Nothing
freezing,
about
frigid.
This part of Missouri is cozy.
No, meaning we're cozy inside because it's frigid outside.
Yeah, we got like 14 inches of snow at my house.
It's actually crazy.
Last
and it wasn't
weekend.
even snow. Do you realize that? It was more of like a sleet snow.
It's
Oh,
couldn't even
not
make-
at our house.
Really?
Literally, it was like poof, like
We
powder.
got the wet snow down here.
Yeah,
guys
we
got,
couldn't.
like, the
I
icy
couldn't
stuff.
even make a snowball.
Yeah. It packs together though.
No, it didn't. That's why I couldn't make a snowball.
Oh.
Like I went outside to try to make a snowball, and every time I tried to like put more together, it just felt it. You couldn't compact it enough to make a snowball.
Well, then that means it's fluffy.
No, that means it's not fluffy.
I don't know what she got.
It's like sleet. It was like sleet.
They live like 5 minutes apart. Make that make sense.
Make it make sense, baby.
Oh my gosh. Well, today we are having an unhinged episode where we're just going to answer some unhinged questions, like an Unhinged Mom Q&A. Talk about life, answer questions that people might have sent in before that we have for each other. No experts, no perfection, just tired moms, and we'll chat it up.
What?
Why are you laughing?
I just don't know. I don't know about nothing.
These are just our answers from experiences, from bad occurrences that we've had to deal with.
The lack thereof.
So, yeah, when we're in survival mode, basically. Just not Pinterest answers, basically.
Oh, I'm giving Pinterest answers because I'm gonna lie around here.
No. She's not.
She's not, because we're going to talk, like,
I'm
why.
the realest of the real peeps. Okay. I don't lie. Okay.
Q&As are important because it provides with all of us, like, a safe space for you guys viewing, a safe space. Normalizes messy questions. So,
Safe
like,
space. Coming from somebody that these two were at it this morning. Cats. As soon as I
sisters.
walked in the door.
Sisters, 15 months apart.
Yeah, it was bad.
Self-explanatory.
you get it.
Safe space. I was not in a safe space during that.
She was just recording us.
I was absolutely.
Poking
Anyways,
fun.
go ahead.
Anyways, a mom Q&A is important because this is a safe space to address, like, how she feels, how I feel, things like that. Messy questions, ask anything, like open table. That's really how we want to come across here. Community over comparison. So, like, we're not comparing. We're always just talking about our side, or how something makes us feel, or like opinions, because honestly, that's how we learn from each other. We learn from you telling me what you do. You tell me what you do, and you're like, oh, I could actually do that differently.
Or you suck for doing that.
Just don't
all
listen
in
to her,
jokes. All in jokes, people. Okay? Keep it lighthearted. Okay?
Let's get into it. Let's rapid fire these.
Oh,
okay?
here we go.
First one, you ready?
Ready.
Okay. What's your go-to lazy dinner?
Pasta.
Go to lazy dinner?
Yeah.
Takeout.
Order
true.
pizza. But yeah, I like
Oh,
pasta.
I was thinking if we had to like cook dinner.
Oh, if we had to cook dinner, literally a sandwich.
My lazy
PBJ,
dinner
baby,
would-
all the way.
No, I agree. Well, we'll just throw in a pizza or order pizza.
Yeah.
But I like the pasta because we're just a noodle and pasta sauce family.
I love
Yeah.
pasta, but my family does not.
They don't put meat in their pasta.
Josh doesn't
Where's the
like it
protein?
either. So when we do spaghetti, we avoid the protein that day, like that meal. We just
You
literally
don't put meat in the spaghetti sauce?
No, we just like the sauce and the pasta.
Interesting. You don't even have like meatballs or nothing?
No, I'm not a meatball fan either.
We ground our beef. We add the sauce. We mix the noodles all together.
I don't think you've had a good meatball then.
I mean, I've had meatballs at very, very good, like, culturally Italian restaurants, like in Vegas and everything like that. I'm just not a meatball fan.
Interesting.
Pasta's always a quick one for us, though. That or tacos.
Oh, tacos for.
Tacos.
Oh, that's a staple
Yeah.
every week.
Yeah.
My family will ask for tacos weekly. That is, yeah. That was a good one. At home
Yeah.
would be tacos or sandwiches for sure.
But
or
I'm always
takeout.
down for the takeout.
Yeah. Who isn't?
All right, next
Why is
one.
it so expensive? I just want to get takeout every day.
I remember when we were right outside of high school, I remember going to McDonald's and being able to buy a McChicken, a large fry. Actually, it was 2 McChickens because back then
You always got 2 McChickens.
yeah, 2 McChickens, a large fry, and a large drink for $5. Now you can't get it for less than 10.
No.
It's crazy how when
Insane.
if we have to go to a fast food restaurant, I tell Josh we might as well go sit down at a restaurant.
Yep.
Because I'm like, you're paying
You're dropping.
$13 for a to-go fast food meal.
Yeah.
He went to Culver's a couple weeks ago and he's like, guess how much my lunch was? I said, what? He's like, it's like $15 or $18.
Yeah.
I said, do what?
Yeah, it's insane.
Same with Culver's. He went to not Culver's. He went to what's the sub place? Penn Station.
I love Penn Station.
Trent always talks about that
It was
place.
literally like $18 again. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Well, does he get medium?
stop.
If you eat
Is
there,
that like a 9-inch or something?
that's what she said. Anyways, I don't know, but to me, like, obviously the sandwich, as a man, you probably need the medium. But I told him, don't ever get, especially if you're eating there. I don't know about to go, and I'm sure it's probably the same. The small fry is literally
It
the
is
same
large.
as the medium fry. Get
At
the
Penn
smaller
Station?
one. Yes,
Oh.
you have just as many fries,
Yeah.
I thought it
It's
was
like,
like
and you
a
pay
Subway.
less. and get a small drink because
He
you can
loves
fill it
Penn
up.
Station, and I'm like, give me the Subway all day, any day.
Are you kidding?
Nope. Just like people who like Jimmy John's, I'm going to open up a little controversial argument right here. Jimmy John's, like, no, Subway has all the sauce choices, all the topping choices. Who wants just this white bread with just...
I will agree. I'm not too much of a fan of Jimmy John's. Now their Kickin' Ranch. Have you had the Kickin' Ranch and the Kickin' Ranch chips? Those are good.
No.
So every now and then I do get craving that.
I had
need
that
to
a little
order.
bit in hair school.
I'm just
but
shouting out Subway. So can I get the black card? The Subway black card?
Is there a black card for Subway?
Yeah, you get like free Subway. You ever watch?
How do you get that?
hit her up with that free Subway.
What is that?
I do love their Italian herbs and cheese
I
bread.
think I've only eaten Penn Station once, but
It's
Trent
good.
raves about it.
Subway, I could eat at breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
We're supposed to be rapid firing, by the way,
Oh,
and we're still stuck on Sammy's.
Sorry, that was our lazy dinner.
Because a good Sammy is a good Sammy, okay?
It is. My husband hates sandwiches,
Trent hates cold cuts.
and I love a good cold cut.
Get your cold cut. Get your cold cut. Get your cold cut.
The Italian BMT is my favorite.
Italian BMT. I don't think I've... See, I don't
Actually,
like tomatoes.
it's me and the 3 kids' favorite.
Oh, BMT. Oh, what?
BLT is what I was thinking of. Big
Yeah,
Flint's
I
tomato.
yeah.
What's BMT?
I don't know.
It's like meat Italian. It's kind of like Italian, like salami and pepperoni and. things
Oh, maybe I would like that one. I just don't like tomatoes.
It's
I
really
thought you
good.
said BLT.
like that. No. All right, next question. Screen time rules. I know. We have a little bit.
Don't do it. Don't
differentiating.
like it. Don't give it to him. I'm just kidding. We really just,
I think there's a difference
he's
between
1.5.
rules and survival because I'm going through this toddler phase, and so in a car right now, I got my daughter one of those Amazon.
Tablets.
Is it a Fire
She did it.
Yeah.
tablet?
She did it.
Because
Wow.
here's
I'm
the thing.
kinda
She
shocked.
always said, I ain't having no screen
I
time
did say I'm
kid.
not having a screen time kid, but I have to say we don't watch a lot of TV at home. We do have a show we watch as a family together, but we're not home a lot, so my kids hardly watch any TV at all. But we do the tablet on the go because here's my defense on this. I talk to my husband about it all the time. I'm
You
like,
have to have a defense.
yes, because you feel like you have to. Whenever my husband had his kids, Jordan was 3 when the twins were born, so he had 3 under 3. Yeah, that's how it worked out. So when they were younger, he was literally going to school or work, your normal day, go to school, go to work, go home for the evening. So they grew up being home every night, playing with their toys, maybe watching family TV, cartoons, things like that. Ivy's not like that. My toddler's born into the era with older siblings now, 8, 11, almost 12. We're always on the go. We're always at sports. We're always everything. And so it's hard to keep her involved and entertained watching all these sports games when that's not what a toddler understands. And so I've done the survival aspect of the screen time, as in I let her watch Frozen and things like that on the go because it's hard. But screen time, I do limit it. Cell phones, my kids don't have cell phones. We did try the smartwatches things. I don't know. It's called from Cosmo Technology. And I told Josh, I was like, this is going to be our trial to see how they do. Well, Jordan just got his watch and it's already broken. Somebody pulled off my coat at school and it fell off.
Hey, that's valid. I mean, that could have
For
most
one,
certainly
if somebody
happened.
starts pulling on you, you tug away. One.
Which is probably
Two,
what happened as why the watch fell off.
your watch shouldn't be falling off of your wrist. It should be just secured on.
In a perfect world.
Screens or no screens, Chelsea?
So that was my dilemma there.
So
I
are we-
learned, and that was my, told you. They weren't responsible for it.
So my 13-year-old, he has a phone. And the reason he got one in the first place is because we were co-parenting. And so that it just made sense at the time. And he was starting middle school at the time. So and he had to switch buses. And I was paranoid that, God forbid, if he ever got on the wrong bus or if he ended up somewhere else, I needed to be able to contact him directly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why it started. So that's why he had one. And now he's old enough or whatever. But everything has limits on it. His phone's locked down. So it's not like he can get on websites or anything like that. So everything's heavily limited, to be honest. And then at home, they have actually a chore app where they have to do chores. They pretty much have to buy their time on their screens. So they have to do work around the house, their chores, all that stuff, to be able to buy the time to play their games. So it's almost like a responsibility. Like if you want to be able to do what you want to do, you got to do what you got to do first, type thing. So that's implemented in their time. But I will be 100% honest. Like during the snow weeks or like chaotic days, I don't have limits sometimes. I just do what I got to do. Or if it's super boring and we've already done activities together or watch a movie or something like that, and I got stuff to do, it's really mainly when I really need to lock in at the house. I'm like, I don't care. Do whatever you want. If your chores are done, whatever. But I will say those times that I'm very lenient, I can see a difference with their attitudes, which is why we limit it in the first place, because you can definitely tell when they've had too many video games, because you can see it. You can literally see in their attitudes when they freak out or when they don't know how to regulate their emotions, and it's stemming from these video games. Yeah. And I don't think it's a bad thing, but I think you have to, I mean, they're just young. They're still young. The 13-year-old's obviously a teenager now, but he's in the puberty stage right now. So he's still having to figure out how to regulate his emotions properly. Thank you, Chandra.
'Tis the season.
And then,
Thank you, Chandra.
and then the 9-year-old, I mean, he's still young. You know what I mean? So he's still trying to figure out too. And like I said, I mean, there's some times where I'm very lenient, and then there's some times where I'm very strict. Yeah. And but they're also heavily involved in sports, and right now is kind of their only downtime. Once, actually, both of their baseball practices have already started. They're in basketball, so they have basketball practice and games right now. But this is more of the downtime when it becomes next month, especially in April when baseball heavily gets picked up and travel soccer and travel baseball, all that. I mean, there's some days where they don't get to play at all. And sometimes there's weeks go by they don't get to play at all.
What about with your almost 3-year-old?
So she doesn't have a tablet, which is shocking coming from me, because you would think that she'd have a tablet. She doesn't.
I have the one that's built for kiddos. Like, Amazon
the boys
Kids
had the
on there,
Amazon
or like
thing.
Disney. Mm-hmm. So like, man,
honestly,
she's making me feel like it's a bad thing over here.
No, the boys had the Amazon Kindles or Fires or whatever they were.
The thing that sucks is like sometimes as a parent, I don't know how to use them, but my kids do.
Yeah, ain't that crazy?
I'm like, how do you guys know how to do that? And like, I want to know how to use it so I can like make sure you can't get things.
So with Evie, I kind of just I go back and forth. Like, it really just boils down to what's going on and what's happening. And it's like, let's say I had a hard day, or if I really just want to have like lunch with my husband and she happens to be with us, and we need to talk about something, or I just really need some downtime in my brain, because the way she screams and stuff literally short circuits me. Like, I feel myself losing control.
That's exactly how I
So I'll give her my phone. It's usually my phone, but she doesn't have any like specific for her, which I've thought about getting, but I just really don't have a reason to as of right now. Now, when we end up going to Texas and stuff like that, I will have to give her my iPad or something, because that's a long ride.
We're about to take Langston on his first flight in a couple months.
Yeah.
And I
No.
did already think about
A month and a half.
downloading some movies for him to watch on that flight. Right now, he doesn't have siblings to go off of. He doesn't have different events for them to sit through or anything of that nature. So right now, as a 1.5-year-old, our thought process is we are setting the tone. We want him to learn independent play and like that you don't have to sit here and look at this to be content. Like we just want him to.
Go ahead. I don't know. I was waiting to not cut you off.
Oh, I thought you were gonna pause.
I was gonna sneeze too.
Sorry.
But that's why we don't. And I actually think Trent is more hardcore about it than I am.
Yes.
We actually were up working at the salon one day, and my friend was like, "Here, he can watch my phone," and put the phone in front of him. And Trent, literally, you would have thought he was like,
Getting ran over.
he's like, and she's like, "Oh, you guys don't want to watch it?" And Trent's like, "No."
No.
And so she took it away from him, which like is fine. I mean, a movie I feel is not a terrible thing.
I think it's okay if they're
but-
not around their environment. So like at the salon, for example, he probably didn't have much to play with.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that's another thing that I have started to do that I need to implement more and be better at is usually I always have a bag of toys in my car.
Yeah, we always pack toys.
So I'll give her that. But the thing is, you got to swap them out because they get bored
Yeah.
at some point. So I had to take them all out, and now she has a Bluey bag with her new little Bluey toys in it, and that's been really good for a while. Because typically in the car rides, we're like you, we're on the go a lot, and I don't want my number one resort to be is to hand her a phone. So I try to do everything else first, but sometimes at the end of the day, if you just can't get them to stop screaming or whatever, you got to do what you got to do.
Well, and the thing is, like, when we went to the football games, for example, it's outside. We had a picnic blanket. We brought the oldies bag full of all kinds of toys. But, like, Sunday, we were at a wrestling match sitting in, like, stadium seats, not bleachers. Because, like, the basketball games, bleachers, we put out the magnet tiles. Stadium seats, we couldn't put the magnet tiles out because, like, the seats fold up automatically. So it's, like, that's the day we did a lot of cuddling and watching Frozen and things like that. Because, like, otherwise she was on the ground playing and I saw some kiddos' feet that were running back and forth, and I'm like, that floor is disgusting.
Yeah.
And so it's
Like I said, it really
pick your
just depends on
battles.
the
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
And I think winter's the hardest part. Once it becomes nicer outside and you can get outside more, and like you said, at practices you can have a picnic table, you can have a little picnic snack, lunch, whatever, things that can be more entertaining. And I know sometimes people use that as an excuse of, well, you can do the same thing during the winter. Yeah, sometimes. But I don't want to sit outside in 2-degree weather. I'm going to be honest, okay? So I'm not going to make my kids do it.
bubbles. She loves bubbles, but we can't blow bubbles inside at a event. People probably look at me like I'm crazy.
True.
You know?
True. Yeah, so I think it just depends. Obviously your number one, in my opinion, shouldn't always be a screen. And Trent, I can understand because he's so young now that if he makes it to where, like, you guys don't have to use it really at all.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad thing. Because sometimes I really, truly wish I would have been more strict on the boys. Yeah. I think I was very, very lenient. I was young back then, so I don't think there's pictures I go back, or like, I think Maverick had a Switch at like 5 years old, which I absolutely hate that I did that. But I wasn't thinking. Like, I was in a different space in my life, and if I could go back, I'd do it differently.
Yeah. I think Trent's thing is when you go out and you see a child like headphones, iPad, no communication with anybody that they're with.
Yeah.
He's like, Links, that's not going to
We
be
have
Links.
for your
family
mental health.
members that are like that, and so like at all the stuff, like they're just into that, and it's like you don't even really notice they're there, or they don't take part in the events.
It's not good for your mental health.
Yeah.
And honestly, you're never going to look back and be like, well, I wish I would have given him a screen sooner. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like me looking back, I wish I wouldn't have given him a screen that young.
I think
You know what I
it's
mean?
interesting too, because like when you met Brandon, so it's a similar situation. When you met Brandon, you had a kid, and they were probably already using that stuff.
No, Bentley was like 9 months old.
Oh, that's right. He was smaller. Okay.
Yeah.
So Brandon's seen the evolution the whole time. You and Trent neither had kids. So my kiddos had that stuff before I met them.
Yeah.
So like the twins were 5. Jordan was 7. 8. He had just turned 8. Whenever I met them, and so like my kids already had that stuff. And so then we have Ivy, and it's like I've tried to minimize that. And then this winter is the first time I got her the Amazon thing, because I'm like, I'm the one going to all these school events. I'm the one going to all these appointments.
When it's hard
going to all these,
especially when you have to do by yourself with multiple kids. In today's society, it's so scary going out with multiple kids, and you have to contain them and make sure that you have your eyes on all of them. Sometimes it's honestly safer to give them your phone
so you can sit there.
They're sitting and you have your kids all right there, because it only takes one time for somebody to run off and you never see them again. Don't give me, that is a whole nother
do what's
subject.
best for you.
Yeah. So my husband will give me crap about getting her the Amazon Fire tablet thingy, whatever. But it's like, they had Switches when I met them, you know?
Yeah.
It's one of
And
those
if it's
things.
limited, I mean, like I said, I don't think screen time's a terrible thing. I think it does need to be limited to a certain extent.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah.
Because like Brandon's whole thing is, if you keep it away from them, all they're going to do is want it more, and then they're going to keep it from you.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're limiting them and showing them why and explaining to them and making them work for it, they're not going to be, not saying that all kids are just going to be walk through the park, because all of them are not. Okay. And they're still going to be sneaky. They're still going to do dumb things because they're kids. Okay. However, I think it's a less likely to happen for them to go behind your back and steal the things or do these things or surf the web if they already have access but are limited, if that makes sense.
I mean, I think we got cell phones. I know I was in 6th grade.
When we started travel ball. is
Yeah,
whenever
when we
did.
like going to away games for
how
sports
at
and
night.
stuff.
How old were you guys?
I mean, probably
7th grade?
12. 12?
Whatever, 6 or 7th
so
grade.
Yeah.
right at a preteen.
Real life mom question. How do you stop mom guilt?
The camera, little, because that there's gonna be a cut there, and you're gonna be like, "Wow, that went from one thing to the next." The camera cut off, and before we turn this entire episode into a screen and a social media debacle, we're just gonna move on to the next question. Now she can answer it, or she can ask it.
How do we stop mom guilt? I think comparison's a big one.
Stay off social media. Stay off social media.
You can't really stop it. You just gotta like manage it more or less of like your input on that. Just not comparing to each other. Or if you do feel guilty about something like you may have done, then repent and ask for forgiveness on that aspect. I have mom guilt. Like sometimes whenever my baby's crying and I'm leaving her at daycare, you know, it just gets you in the mom heart, and you just say, okay, I know it's best for them, and kind of move on. There's all kinds of different types of mom guilt.
Or like you see all these people posting about like going above and beyond for their kids, and you're like, well, I don't do that. Like, I just scrolled on, I think it was Facebook or TikTok. I have a problem. I'm chronically online. I really, really need to get that under control. So they like people do these holiday gift baskets and stuff, which I do. Don't get me wrong. I do try to do the Valentine's
Like
gift
Easter.
baskets and Easter and all
We
that
do
stuff.
give Langston different little gifts that aren't necessary.
Right. But some people like go, I mean, I guess people with money, go above and beyond. And if that's one of you, perfect. I love that for you. I wish I could. However, sometimes it is a mom guilt. Like, well, why can't I do that? Or if kids are getting that at school and your kids are coming home and be like, well, I want one. Like, why can't I have that?
Right.
Why
I
don't
think
we
my
do that?
biggest mom guilt is when I, like Mondays, for instance, I'm off work today. I'm here, but I'm off work. Some Mondays I'm at home, but I still take Langston to daycare. And I'm like, should I? Like, what was it? I guess it snowed on Saturday. We were all home Sunday. Monday, daycare was open. Trent and I wanted to venture out, go work on the new salon, whatever. And we took Langston to daycare. And when we left, I told Trent, I'm like, I feel really guilty that we just dropped him off at daycare when you and I are both off today.
Yeah.
And he said, first of all, Courtney, he's going to have a heck of a lot more fun there than he is with us. He's been home with us all weekend stuck. He's like, he wants out of those 4 walls and he wants to see his friends. I'm like, okay, cool. Maybe you're right. But then also he's like, we also need time.
Oh, 100%.
So I try to remember that, but sometimes it is hard. I'm like,
And honestly, I feel like you don't want to harden your heart in any aspect, right? But I think it's also important for you to like train your brain to almost like, I don't know the best way to explain it, but to like train yourself to realize that your life looks so much different than somebody else's. And you like you said, stop comparing, but also perfect example, birthday parties. Okay. We've never been heavily into birthday parties. Bentley had one this
Like
year.
you guys having them.
Yeah. I mean, every randomly or like the milestone birthdays is really what we do. And so Bentley had a birthday party this year because he turned 13. He's a teenager now, right? So then Maverick was like, well, I want a birthday. Why can't I have a birthday? And I'm like, well, I mean, we just don't typically do birthdays every year. And his just sucks in general. I'm going to be honest, because his is literally the 9th of January. So not only is it already crappy outside, but it's 2 weeks after Christmas. You know what I mean? It's just, it's a tough time. And so when he starts questioning, and then I start feeling mom guilt, and Brandon's like, well, maybe we should just have a party for him. I mean, he wants one. I'm like, I understand. And I start spiraling because I'm like, maybe I should have been doing birthdays. Maybe we should do birthdays all the time, but it's already past his birthday. Like, do I just do like a half birthday? And you start like going crazy. And then everybody's like, well, I always celebrate birthdays. Why don't you? Like, it's like a major deal. You should always make them feel special. I'm like, well, I do make them feel special on their birthday, but that doesn't necessarily equate to having to have a party. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
So
I've
it's
kind
always one of
always
those
been in the
things.
same boat as you, as like milestones. Mm-hmm. Because like that's all we really had growing up, milestones. And then when you get older, then you'd have more friends sleep over.
You have more
things.
friends. You meet more parents.
Yeah.
It's different when they're older.
I'm like
we had the first general big first birthday, and I
course.
told Trent from like here on out, we'll probably just have like small
Family,
family
little
dinner
things.
cake at the house, or go grab dinner. That's all
but
we
my
really did
kids
as
are literally
kids.
pre-planning their birthday parties before it's even their birthday, and I'm like,
So I told him like next year
Come
you'll be
on now.
10, you'll be double digits. So we'll
Yeah,
make sure to
double
have a
digits.
party. You
Yeah.
know, it's not a big deal. But it just sucks having to explain it to your kids in a way that's like, that's just not what we do. Well, my friends do it. I understand. And I know that it kind of sucks. And then you start spiraling like, why don't I do it? Is it just simply because I don't want to? Do you know what I mean? Or is it because, is there a valid reason? And that's one of the things my husband always does is like, well, do you actually have a reason, or do you just not want to do it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not that I don't want to do it. It's just, again, it's more of like, I don't know everybody. I don't know. You don't actually have like, you have friends, but you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't even know how to
Totally
explain
get what
this
you're
right. Like, you know, I know people send party invitations to school, so then everybody in the class gets them.
And that's probably different for you guys because your guys' kids go to a much bigger school than what we're even used to.
yeah.
Like we thought our high school was big.
Yeah, not near as big.
because like my kids have friends that don't go to the same physical school. They could go to like one of the other 5
right.
elementary schools.
And it's one of those things too that I've always been kind of like, I understand 100% why every single kid should be invited to a birthday party in the classroom at this age, because how do you explain to a kid that only 1 or 2 of them from the school? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's unfair. I totally get that. So I think that's another reason I don't, is because I don't know everybody in the class. I don't know the parents. I don't know the kids. I don't know how everything works. And to me, I don't know. It's one of those things where I want to know people before I invite them to my house.
Yeah.
It's pretty much just simple as that, to be honest.
For sure.
So yeah, mom guilt, that sucks.
Next question. How do you handle mom rage? I felt the rage, I'd say, after I had Ivy and I was breastfeeding, and I don't know if it was like the hormone imbalance or I don't know what it was, but anytime that
Overstimulation?
girl would scream.
Overstimulation,
Yeah, plus
for
my
sure.
first time having 3 big kids and a baby myself. Every time she would scream, I had this instant like internal rage in my mind.
You literally, I call it short circuiting.
Yeah,
Your brain.
I'm here to
I
tell
would
you,
just,
you
like-
don't have to have 3 other kids and a baby. As soon as your baby's screaming and then you just see the piles of stuff everywhere that you need to take care of, and then you realize, oh my gosh, when was the last time I swept my floor or mopped my floor? Or when was the last time I washed my bedding?
Yeah.
And then they're screaming. And then, I mean, no, like, I know some people get a lot of time off work, but my husband got 1 week off work and was back working. So I'm figuring out our first time having a baby by myself, figuring out all the things. And then people are wondering why, like I said, no, they can't come visit. I'm like, I'm starting to spiral. I'm talking to myself. Like I'm
I do
used
that a
to
lot.
talking to adults in my chair at work all day, every day. And now I have no socialization. My husband's gone. I'm trying to figure it out by myself. The baby's screaming. My tasks are piling up
The
around
dog's
me.
licking your knees.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
so
terrible.
it was just like you'd snap, and then your husband's like, "Whoa, like what's going on? Like chill out." And I'm like, "You've been gone all day." Like
Totally.
You
get
don't
that.
understand.
I remember him coming home and being like, "Okay, I'm gonna start dinner." I'm like, "No, I will start the dinner."
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, I'm just trying to help. I'm like, if you want to help me, you can
Take
hold the
the
baby.
Pepe. Take the Pepe.
Gosh, I love Langston and I miss him being a baby. But it was
do
just
too.
those. I don't feel the rage near as much now as I did then. But I really think it's something hormonal. Like you're going through all of the
Well,
things.
because I mean, aren't you pretty much in postpartum for 2 years?
2 years until like your mind is like kind of back into
Back
that.
I
normal.
send Trent all these videos now. It'll talk about like the women's brain or their hormones or like the way they feel or this or that after pregnancy all the time because I'm like, oh, this is good. Like this is a good explanation for a guy. And he'll be like, was I not like was
He
I
gets
not
offended,
good?
like, oh,
like
yeah.
did I not take care of you good enough? And I'm like, no, you did. I'm just telling you, like, this is a really good like way to view like the
explanation.
I send that stuff to Josh and he's like, and you want another one?
Trent just asked me last night, are we ready for another baby? I'm like, I mean, why are you? and he said, I mean, yeah, are you not? And I'm like, rain check. Let's come back.
Let's pin that, babe.
He might want more than 2.
No, I think we're going to be good with one more because that'll be 3 babies on my body in however many years I'm solid. I think I'm
3
good.
years. Right.
I mean, we had Gatlin in 23, Langston 24,
Yeah.
Miss 25. I mean, I guess I could still have one by the end of 26.
Could.
God willing.
God willing.
Oh gosh.
You
I
could
know,
be like me and get pregnant in February and have them in November.
Oh, man.
when you were talking about like the kind of dealing with a baby on your own, like when he would go back to work. Yeah, I felt the same way. Josh went back after 2 weeks and his shifts are 12 plus hours. So I had a newborn. I did the whole breastfeeding thing, trying to learn timing of that. And I swear I was breastfeeding, pumping, washing bottles, repeat like all the time.
Washing the things brings back so much.
PTSD.
Yeah. And so on top of that, then I had the 3 bigs who were still going on in their sports at the same time. Mm-hmm. And when he's at the hospital 12-hour days, I have to do the pickup. That always fell over nap time. So I'm like coordinating all these schedules. That was like a little bit of rage-filled mind for me. It's like, and then being a business owner, I had lost one of my full-time girls when Ivy was like 3 weeks. So I was literally taking a newborn while I was breastfeeding to work 30 minutes away and doing all that.
I feel like I should say,
Holy cow.
yeah, that's actually insane. I feel like you said 1 week for Trent, you said 2 weeks for Trent. I feel like I should say 3 weeks for mine, but my husband went to work as soon as we left the hospital.
Oh my gosh.
So I went straight home by myself.
Wow.
He was like, you've done this twice before.
Yeah,
He's like, you're
good.
good.
You're good.
Seasoned.
You're fresh. You're good. But I will say, to be honest, and this is not the same for everyone like you guys. Everybody has different experiences. But for me personally, I look back and honestly, with Maverick, it was a little different because I wasn't breastfeeding. And again, I don't think I was just, I don't want to say not in the right space, but it just was a different time. And I was still running around and doing a lot more things. I wasn't taking in the little moments that I did with Evie. But I will say, looking back, like the
Evie, that made you
breastfeeding with
spiral a little
Evie,
bit.
but I don't feel like that. I feel
What?
like I enjoyed breastfeeding. Like I enjoyed being home. I enjoyed
I enjoyed
all
like
of
the
it.
No, you enjoyed
satisfaction.
it. I think you went a little bit more crunchy is what I mean.
Oh, 100%.
Like she went a
My
little
friends
bit
make fun of
like,
me all the time.
like the Trent moment. Don't do that. No.
Oh,
I'm not
I
doing
was
that.
And I don't know
definitely
how.
more anxiety ridden,
like, this
crunchy
is
than I
Chelsea?
anticipated.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is not the Chelsea I grew up with. This is not the Chelsea I know.
This is not the Chelsea that had 2 previous babies, mind you.
Yeah,
And I don't know what
she-
happened. It's like I went backwards. Like every kid I had, I got worse instead of getting more lenient. Weird.
I was like, what is actually going on?
I
right now?
took 10 weeks off of work, and I remember before we had Langston, I told Chandra, I'm going to have so long off of work. I can't, like, I'll have to pack him up and bring him down here and hang out. Remember? Yeah. And I barely left my house.
Yeah.
Like, I just loved being in our little bubble. Like, I was thoroughly, and I don't know if it's because of our previous loss, so I just was more like paranoid getting him around people,
Right.
or I just, like, I'm finally getting this moment to have my baby in my arms. Like, I did not want to leave.
But I tell you what, it made it so much harder looking back to be social. Do you remember, like, I still remember since I pretty much hermited, kind of like you. She was with me 24/7 all the time, and I was at home or I was picking up the kids or taking them to sports or stuff like that. But I, like you said, we were talking about this right before the camera started, is how awkward we became.
Yeah.
Do you remember like the first couple conversations you had after? It was weeks. You go weeks without talking to anybody, unless it's a text message here or there. And I mean, I didn't really want people over, to be honest. And I know you probably felt the same way the first few weeks. So then when you have an adult interaction, you're almost like, it's foreign. Like, I don't like it. And then, I don't know, it's a weird experience, to say the least, when you're a hermit and then you go to society again.
Yeah.
So how would you say you handled like that like ragey feeling though at times? Like, I know a lot of mine was like, I might have lashed out. Like, I mean, in all honesty, I might have lashed out once in a while.
I've had to
my
apologize
husband
to my kids
or to my
before.
kids. But I think just hiding away, like taking a little breath, taking a little bit of time to like
Crying a lot.
reflect,
I cried
cry.
a lot.
I cried solo. I remember feeling like I told Josh before, I'm like, that was like probably the lowest I felt. I do think I had a little bit of that postpartum blues without being like full on diagnosed postpartum blues. I remember sitting in the nursery just crying, and I'm like, I should be happy.
Yeah.
But it's 1:00 in the morning, because I was trying everything in my power, breastfeeding, to just not use my pump milk because I did not overproduce. So I remember trying to just latch her as much as possible and let him sleep, because I knew he was the one working.
Right.
And it does give you like that that kind of inner rage, like, why am I doing this, you know?
And it also, you saying that, the rage also spills over into your marriage. And
does
you
a little bit.
start to resent the other person. I remember feeling like, even though I chose to make sure she was exclusively breastfed and there was absolutely nothing he could do, why in the world would I wake him up to do absolutely nothing other than to
Sit with
just
me.
be awake? You know what I mean? And I thought that was selfish. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to wake him up. But then the minute he sleeps in or he gets a full night's rest and he's like, man, I'm tired. I'm like, oh, you're tired. oh, you're tired. I'm glad you slept well, babe. I don't know how you're tired. And you're losing your mind because you had like three hours of sleep.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you're losing your mind, but rightfully so. But I mean, that is the mom rage.
Yeah. I mean, and then you're taking it out on everybody. I've had to apologize to the boys before because I would scream or I'd lose my mind. I'd be like, everybody just needs to get away from me. And they're like, oh, what's wrong with mom? And then I'd have to apologize and be like, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have handled it like that. I lost my temper. You know, I'm just going through it. And there's really not an excuse other than I lost it.
I think there's times I lose it sometimes though, and I'm like, should I apologize for that, or is it like rightfully earned?
100% apologize.
Because
I think that's a little bit of you thinking that if I apologize,
okay,
then
do you guys
I
ever
relinquish.
feel like your kids just don't listen to you after a million times, and you're like,
The obvious answer is going to be yes. I don't understand why.
But
she
you could
acts
always
like that.
apologize for the delivery if
Yeah,
you feel
that's
like you
100%.
came at him a little hostile.
but just should we always be like, I know you just disobeyed me.
Okay,
for
this
the
goes
millionth
goes
time.
into the passive and gentle parenting and all that, and she doesn't understand that you can deliver a message sternly
I do.
without screaming, yelling, being abrasive or anything like that. You can be like, I drew a boundary. You didn't follow your boundary.
Yep.
Here's your punishment. I'm not going to yell. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to scream. I don't want to hear a word about it. You did this. Here's your punishment.
When me and Josh
Go.
first met,
Yeah.
that was his explanation was, you were really stern, but like I didn't yell, but I was just very. Mama said this, and that's what I meant.
And that I think that's a thing that also, if you can learn this before Langston gets too old, do not catch yourself, because I did this a lot with the boys, and I'm having to reroute my brain. So before you say something, you better make damn sure that you're going to follow through with whatever you say. So if you're going to
my
sit there and
God.
say, you're grounded for a day, it's a week, you better stay
Josh,
to it.
come
You
listen to this.
better stick
Josh, where
to
you
it.
at? Come listen to
Because
Chelsea.
I tell you what, the kids will recognize the pattern and they will take it.
My
Trent
husband
always
will
said that
take
he was
things
gonna
away
be
and not
our-
do it.
Trent always said he was going to be like the punisher or the like
Oh,
reprimander. And
whatever.
I look at him with Langston now and I'm like, dude, you are soft. Maybe it'll
Softly.
maybe it'll come, but you are soft.
And I will tell you this from experience. I literally just had a friend. It's been a while now, but it was I had ran into one of Bentley's friends at one of these events, whatever. And the friend I had overheard talking to his buddies.
Oh.
And he had said, oh yeah, my mom's soft. They recognize it. They notice it. So I'm telling you, whatever you say, even if you want to go backpedal, you catch yourself before you say it. Don't say that they're going to be grounded for a week if you're not going to stick to it.
I will take the game controllers away. I will take remotes away. No electronics, all that. My husband will be like, "You're going to be grounded. You're not going to play basketball this week." My kids
do
never
not
miss a
take
basketball
things
game.
away unless you're going to.
And I'm like, they know that you're not going to hold to that. Like, they know. And he's like, "Oh, whatever. They know I'm serious." I'm like, "I don't even know you're serious, and I'm telling you that because you never do it, you know?"
It's one of those things.
I think I'm definitely more of the stern
taking
one.
notes.
Oh, for sure. And I tell you what, till the day I die, there's not a single job on this earth that's more difficult than parenting. Oh no.
Nope.
Literally.
I've
the
even told
hardest
Josh I can go nurse today and it'd be easier than all the stuff I have to do.
Yep.
for
And
these
nursing's
kids.
tough. That's a job I'd never want to take on.
And that's why he's like, when I'll say going to work's a break, and he's like, going to work's not a break. I'm like, you need to live a day of a mom life.
It's tough. And
Going
that's
to
a
work
whole
is
nother
a break.
subject too. That's a whole nother subject.
I think
Note that. Pin it for
just
another
like
episode.
hearing these last few questions, like about the mom rage or about what was the one before that, mom guilt.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually something I thought about last night when Trent asked me if I was ready for another baby, because we knew, like, timeline wise, I said, yeah, maybe we'll think about it
Want more
towards the
close.
beginning of the year, and I'm like, we're there. And now I'm like, okay, January's gone. Oh my goodness. I'm like, what's happening?
Dude, time flies.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
But
Time
thinking
flies when
about
you're
it,
having
like last night in that moment when he asked me that, I had flashbacks to Langston being a baby. And I even asked Trent last night, I said, do you ever feel guilty though, thinking about Langston not being the only one? Like, then our undivided attention isn't on him.
That's the only thing I know, though. I've never had a kid just
Yeah.
out of solo.
you wouldn't feel it. I know what you're talking
You
about.
know what I'm talking about?
With
And-
Bentley to Maverick.
And Trent said, I understand what you're saying. He's like, but how much do you think he would appreciate and love having a sibling? And I'm like, I totally get that.
I don't think that feeling will go away until you actually get pregnant and you have it. And then once they're here, that feeling like non-exists.
And
Like,
I always
completely
remember
diminishes.
people being like, how am I going to love another baby as much as I love him? And I'm like, why do you think that? And now that I'm in that position thinking about having another baby, I'm like, oh, I see it.
Yeah.
We're totally going off on like another whole podcast possibility here.
Well, that's what we're here for, peeps.
Yeah.
So
Guys, we never stay on one topic. Next question.
Favorite hiding spot from the kids?
I don't get one. Our house isn't finished. We don't have interior
have
doors
doors.
on every doorway. I can never get away.
you'd have to step outside,
He
literally.
finds me everywhere.
I would say the bathroom.
But that probably is my downtime, is just chilling in the bathroom. Trent's like, geez, what are you doing in there? I'm
what
like,
took you so long? I'm literally just scrolling for a minute.
I'm in peace. I'm just chilling.
But here's the thing: if I don't get that door latched, because like the stupid door, sometimes you gotta lift and during the winter lift it and latch it. Ugh. There's no lock either on my bathroom door.
Don't have a door and then, ow, I just bit my tongue. Don't have a door on your bathroom and then see how quickly your child finds you.
There's no lock either on my bathroom door. Like they're just decorative doorknobs. So my toddler pushes it. So really, like I can hide by
don't
myself
really
solo
have-
during the day.
I don't
when
really
there's
get
no
to
kids
hide.
here.
Yeah.
I think that's part of my anxiety. Like if I don't know what my kid is doing, I
You never just
and also too, I mean,
Go
she
to a
has
different
gotten
room?
to the point where she can open the front door.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Yeah, so
we talked
you need
about
one of
that
those
the other
locks.
day.
So I told Brandon, I said, "Hey, daddy duty. I need this door to remain closed until I open it."
Let me just set the scene real quick that my house is not in shambles. My husband does construction, and so he built our home, and it's a forever project when your husband does construction.
Oh, yeah.
He does it all day. He
Yeah.
doesn't want to come home and do it again. So that is why my house is unfinished. We don't live in shambles. But
You're
anyways,
homeless, Courtney. Don't try to
I know.
fluff it.
But talking about that, so we're built into a hill. We have a front walkout basement. Our front doors are up in the air. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So like eventually we'll have a wraparound deck that comes and meets our garage. So right now, if you walk out our double front doors, it's deck, and the deck is not finished. Like you could just
walk off and fall.
yeah, you could walk out our front doors, walk off and fall if you really wanted to. And I mean fall.
Yeah.
So I told Trent the other day, because Langston went up in like our little foyer area and he wasn't really messing with the door, but he was by it, and I told Trent.
The thought came across. You're
Yeah.
like, I got to do this
I'm like,
now.
we're going to need to put something on this door where he can't grab it. He's like, you really think he can undo the deadbolt? And I'm like, I don't know, but I don't like the idea.
Yep.
Until we get this finished.
Yep.
I said, I want peace of mind that no matter how tall he gets, how big he gets, he can't go out there.
Absolutely. I would 100% be the same way.
So
It's
we
like
literally just had this
I
talk.
don't know, but I don't want to find out. But it's the weird thing. Like, I don't know. Since I became a parent, I have really bad thoughts sometimes.
The intrusive thoughts are wild.
Yeah, like if
Actually crazy.
something like that happens and I think something and like instantly goes to bad and I'm like, why am I thinking like that?
People often relate that to postpartum anxiety, but I'm like, how long does that last? Like, do I still got postpartum
Yeah, or I'm
anxiety?
like, I
Like
didn't know
1.5
I had
years
that.
later? I don't know.
Yeah. No, those thoughts never go away. Ever.
It's awful.
I
And
still
then
have thoughts
and
like
then you
that.
feel mom guilt because you're like, why am I thinking that way?
Yeah.
Why would I think about my child like that?
Yeah. Or just like literally one of Brandon's intrusive thoughts that he has had since the day that we met. And he's like, no, I don't think I just can't. And because it's happened. For one, a lot of your intrusive thoughts, they're not just random. I mean, you've probably heard a story of it happening, but Brandon's number one top fear to this day is running a kid over.
Oh.
And and he's like, no, it like comes across my mind like every time I get in the truck, like I have to make sure all the cameras on. I have to look under the truck sometimes. I have to make sure that all the kids. He's called me multiple times to make sure every kid's in this house. Like it's one of those things. And my intrusive thoughts get to me too. Like and it's just all the horror stories. I truly believe it's all the horror that you hear. Like one of my intrusive thoughts is like, what if one of your kids gets left at a store by themselves, or if somebody just leaves a baby in a cart. In the carts at the Walmart store. Like those are ridiculous thoughts, but what would happen?
Yeah.
Or what if your kid locks himself outside? What would they do? How would they survive? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's my brain's already messed up and I think about a lot of messed up things, but I think that's just mothers in general thinking about these things so we can be proactive.
Yes.
And
And
keep
I
it
think
from
I was about to
happening.
say, I think we plan ahead. And so we think about what if we didn't. And getting your kids to understand that, that's where that rage sets in. Sometimes.
They're not going to understand.
They
'cause
think
don't
you're over the
like
top.
that.
Yep.
Yeah.
But if you didn't care, or if you didn't worry, then you didn't care.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, next question. So that was mom rage. What do you do when you feel burned out?
I
Try
think
to
you just have to have a reset of some sort.
try to do something for yourself. Ask for help. I know I'll be like, you're home. You're tapping in. You know.
And I really think it's also trying to routine. I'm starting to be heavy on the routine now. I think routines help a lot. But also, too, I think really trying to train your brain into not thinking so... What's the best... I guess I'm just going to have to say it, just say it. But trying to rewire your brain into not thinking things are as bad as what they are. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like if you've had a really rough day and you're just about to lose your mind, instead of honing in on that feeling of being angry, upset, overwhelmed, try to spin it and think, okay, hold on. I'm getting overwhelmed. I have a beautiful house. I have beautiful children. They're healthy. They're happy. I have food on the table.
Kind of thinking like things could be worse.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
and
this
just
is
kind
not-
of get yourself out of the rut before you actually go into the trenches,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. And that's hard. I'm not, that takes a lot of practice. I'm still not good at it. But I feel like that is something that would help you from completely losing your mind.
Yeah. I love a good routine too. But like this past weekend, we went to our church hosted a surge. So they had like different speakers and everything come for the weekend. And it was Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. We didn't make it to Sunday night, but we did go to the 2 nights before, 45 minutes away from our house. So obviously they had childcare, which was fantastic. But a part of me is like, okay, Langston's been in this childcare 2 days or 2 evenings now, one of which he was at daycare all day. But I had to stop and remember, like, that kind of was my burnout fix moment. Like, we got to go be with the Lord, do what we need to do, pray, worship, do all those things, which as a whole makes me a whole better person.
Oh my gosh,
makes me
yes.
feel better. I'm filling my cup up. He's getting time with other kids his age, which again, I think he would prefer. But it's moments like that. And as much as that threw us out of our routine, like I did, there was one night I'm like, it's really not, it wasn't even a big deal. You know, I'm like, he still went to bed. He slept good. We're up. We're ready for the next day.
Yep.
Like I try to give our whole day and every aspect of it grace now. I do think I used to be a little too intense about things. Back off. I I think that I used
I
to
think
be
I
able
look
to.
at her like,
And sometimes I think routines can make you also burn out. Like sometimes
Yeah.
I feel like I'm on autopilot, and I'm just consecutively doing things over and over and
Yeah.
over, and you're like,
you're
this
like, I'm
is
tired
sucks.
of
Like,
repeating myself.
where's my life? You know what I mean? So I think it really just you're gonna have an issue in every part of your life.
Yeah.
And honestly, you just gotta try to remain as positive as you can and remember the good things. Don't hone in on the bad things. I shaved my legs.
That's a good thing.
That's what she
Yeah,
did
remembering
when
the
she
good
was feeling
things.
burnt out. She took care of herself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. I did. I
Do
did.
something for yourself.
How do you balance work and motherhood?
Well, I don't think I can comment on this too much because I don't really do too much work. Brandon's pretty much does all the work.
Honestly, I think we're pretty solid on our routine. Again, it's all about the routine. We wake up, me and Langston get ready for daycare and work. I drop him off. I go to work. Trent or I pick him up, and we pretty much do our evening the way we do our evening.
Do you think like coming from somebody that you are pretty much your own business person as a cosmetologist, do you think it helps knowing that you have full blown control over your schedule? Like if
100%.
Okay, like instead of having a 9 to 5 where you're like,
Yeah.
I'm screwed from Monday through Friday for until 60 plus years from
Yeah.
now that I have to be here from 9 to 5.
Langston's been battling an ear infection since December 15th, right? So there's been, with daycare, you never know. There was a couple fevers. So Trent or I were staying home with him. There was a couple days I had to rework my whole schedule, or we ran him to the ENT the other day. Now we're setting him up for the surgery to get his tubes in his ears.
Yeah.
So it's like I get to pick those things.
Yeah.
I get to establish when
I
we're
always
doing
wondered,
things, or
like is it harder to have to reschedule your clients or whatever to a different day versus just being able to call into work and be like, hey, I can't come? Or
so sometimes I do think so.
Okay.
I tell Trent in that aspect, it is more difficult. He gets to call one person and
Yeah.
say he doesn't get to be there, as opposed to me calling
8 people.
and telling them, hey, I won't be there and this is why.
Right.
But also try to let me squeeze you in somewhere else.
Yeah.
That can be a challenge. And Trent and he's really good about taking turns with me.
Yeah.
Sometimes it depends on my day, really.
Right.
He'll be like, well, you're obviously going to be the one making more money today, so kind of common sense. You should probably be the one going
Sure.
to work, and I'll stay home with him. So sometimes we kind of play it, but then if he stayed home 2 days, I'll be like,
I've always wondered about that because do you ever have people that are just mad? Like, I wanted this done. I want my hair done so bad, or I have a wedding and I have to have it
I've
done.
never had anybody really be mad. For the most
that's
part, my
so good.
clientele is pretty understanding.
Good.
Now, I remember one year, it's been a couple of years, but I was home sick just a few days before Christmas, or like the
no.
week before Christmas. And I couldn't stay out of the bathroom in many aspects, if you catch my drift. And so I would have much rather been at work.
Right.
And I texted the lady, I was like, hey, can't come into work, can't stay out of the bathroom, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, well, I really hope you're going to be able to get me in before Christmas. It was for a haircut.
Oh.
It's not like it was a color or anything.
Yeah.
It was a haircut. Your haircuts are important. Don't get me wrong. But I think nobody's going to notice if you have a half inch off your ends by Christmas. Like,
Yeah, it wasn't like a drastic
yes.
Color. You're not
Yes.
going like
And
dark to
go-
blonde.
Going
And
back
I
to
did
you
work her
literally-
in before Christmas. All was well. That's my problem. A, I can't tell anybody no. B, I'll do what I can. I'll stay late,
that why-
whatever.
Is that why it's probably a good thing to have like a day, at least one day off during the week, so you can squeeze people in on that day off?
Mondays are usually your like fill-in day.
Okay. See, it's all making sense to me.
Yeah.
Somebody that's a
Balancing
bum
work-
that doesn't have a job makes sense.
Balancing
Hey, you
work and
ladies are
motherhood,
busy.
in my opinion, is like schedules. It's all about keeping up with the schedules.
Yeah.
One of my businesses is under reno right now, so that's kind of, I don't want to say dumpster fire because that sounds bad, but it's like up in the air all the time. Like, what do we got to do? What needs done? Like, just
Trying to finalize a project.
I get
It's
it
tough.
done. The other one is not really on my schedule at all. It's whenever my brides need in for weddings and based on their timeline and frame, and so that is a little bit of a hit or miss on if it's like convenient or not. As far as like the new daycare, we have great directors that can kind of man that, and I just kind of fill in that, answer questions whenever I can, or whatnot. Go in the mornings
Make
and
the
make sure
like major decisions, more or less.
Yeah, go in the mornings and usually check in and take care of whatever I can take care of in the mornings. But I think it's all about balancing.
Well, and I think it's really important too that, having a good partner, I mean, really, really makes a big difference in big life choices and all that stuff, and having a routine for
Keeping
sure.
the routines for sure. That's like the anchor. We talked about anchors like a few episodes back. Next question. How do you deal with picky eaters? Well, I don't make separate meals. What we cook is what we cook, and you're offered it. Not saying you won't maybe get a little snack later if I knew like you didn't eat a lot of your dinner. That's mainly toddlers because you can't force feed them where you can tell your teenager like, eat it, you'll be fine, you'll survive, Can't really tell a toddler that. But I will make one meal and serve that. So like I'd say my kids' palates have significantly increased from when I first met them.
Mm-hmm.
They used to not eat 75% of what I cook like prior, and now they all eat it.
Yeah, I don't really cook separate meals. I mean, I've just now learned how to start cooking, to be honest. So, I mean, I don't make separate meals by any means. Now, Evie has become a little bit more picky. So sometimes, to be honest, I try to always have Uncrustables on hand because if she doesn't eat, and I know she's not stupid, okay? She will wait. She won't eat. But then as soon as we get her in the bath, get her in bed, and settle down, she's all of a sudden hungry. And I'm like, you little. So I try to just be like, okay, I try to get her to eat. But like you said, you can't force a toddler, and they're still going to be hungry. So that's kind of one of my backup things. Like,
yeah,
just
I don't
give her
her
an
anything
Uncrustable.
at the table. It's like later when we're closer ready for bed before we brush her teeth when she's like, I snack,
Yeah.
I cheese,
Yeah.
So,
That girl eats cheese like it's going out of style.
yeah, I
Dude,
just have
Evie
to have a
loves the
pack of
cheese too.
cheese.
Snack.
All I have to do is have a pack
Pouch.
of cheese and pouch.
We don't do a different meal either, but like we always have different options, like snack wise. Like last night, I did make pasta. Why Langston didn't want to eat it, I have no idea because
go
he
through stuff
loves
like that.
noodles.
It's weird.
But whatever. He ate his whole banana. What else do we have? Oh, he ate some bites of his I made homemade bread yesterday. So I used some of it to make homemade garlic bread.
Did you
that
bring
looks
us any?
delicious.
No, but the bread was fire.
Yeah.
Guess we're
Well,
chopped liver.
I don't even care because you didn't bring me any.
So he ate his whole banana, a little bit of his garlic bread, and barely touched his pasta. So I think we gave him, what did we give him? I don't know. Like yesterday, I gave him more blueberries or
Yeah.
something. Like something I know is going to be good for him.
Yeah, and that he's going to eat.
Because
And
it's one of those things, I'm not going to fight him on it. I'm like, okay, if you're not feeling, sometimes I don't want to eat something if I'm not feeling it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can't finish it if I feel full. Plus, he did have some homemade bread before dinner.
Oh,
So I think he
ruined
just
it.
spoiled his dinner.
Yeah.
But
Ivy used to eat a whole case of blueberries, and now she just looks at them.
Yeah. I think toddlers are so
I'm
weird.
like, what's wrong with you?
Sometimes they'll go a week with just eating literally the same thing because that's all you can get them
I
to
told
eat.
Josh, how do they survive?
I don't know. Or sometimes, some days you're like, you've had a fruit snack. Like, how are you not hungry? That's all you've eaten.
Yeah.
Or some days you're like, you've literally eaten me out of the pantry. Like, there's physically no way you have room in your stomach.
Langston loved those little fruit cups of peaches. He would devour it. Now you can tell he's done and does not want it. Last night, maybe that's what I gave him. I don't know. But there was one meal the other day. You notice he just starts mixing his food together on his plate. And I'm like, you done? I'm done.
Yep. And didn't actually eat it, just messed around. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're going to move on to marriage and mom life questions. So, how do you stay connected when exhausted? Communication. Yeah, just talk. Explain how you're exhausted, why you're exhausted.
But the communication shouldn't turn into an argument.
What could help the exhaustion?
The communication should be open-ended on both sides and not an argumentative.
Yeah.
And actually wanting to come to a solution, not just trying to, well, I'm better, I do more, you do less, blah, 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 blah. It should be more of a, hey, what's going on, babe? Let's figure this out. You know what I mean?
I think the funny thing is whenever you bring that up is moms do such a good job at momming a household and all the tasks that are like unseen things. Like I was telling my husband this morning, I paid 2 electric bills. I paid the cell phone bill. You know, things like that that are like invisible. The invisible load. Remember us talking about that? That you just get exhausted doing all these little minute tasks that they don't even realize actually occurs. I'm like, how do you talk on the phone? Who pays that? Who pays that bill so you can keep talking? You know, things like that. So I think it's like,
But what I was trying to tell her is that at the end of the day, that's why it's really important to establish roles so you're not nitpicking.
yeah.
Oh,
Because
you got that phone? Oh, well, I paid the bill.
the next
Yeah.
question is, how do you stop keeping score? So I think that like that's where it does get hard, like in your marriage, because you're like, moms do a kick butt job at doing 500,000 tasks, and nobody knows every single task you do. You know what I mean?
Other moms do.
I think other moms do. Yeah, like we know.
But at the
I
end of the
think
day, if you want to be biblical, that's why it's important to have roles. You got to choose your roles and you got to stick with them. So that way there is no count.
It's hard in modern, like, I don't know how you feel, but I feel like in modern day society, like that biblical role isn't the same as what it was then.
Oh, no. No, because we've established so much more as a society and have come so far, which is why I think it's really important to, for example, if God forbid, please, Lord, do not take my husband. But if you did, I'd have no idea. Any of the bills. I paid no bills. All of that is on him. He has all the passwords. He has all the logins. I'd have no clue.
Yeah.
However, on my end, he has no idea how to clean a toilet. You know what I mean? Like that, or where
You'd probably be like, which school do I drop them
or
off at?
what appointments,
and
what
I-
doctors, stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Trent and I, depending, and I think it's sometimes when we each start getting in our little rut, we will kind of do the whole like keeping score thing. I'll be like, well, I did this. And he'll
It's
be like,
normal.
well, I did this. Like, it gets competitive. And
Yep.
we've talked about that. I'll be like, oh, okay, so it's a competition again. Like, we're at this again.
Yeah.
And so we have to like check ourselves
But
and
you recognize it.
we both do. But we do keep such strong communication because I think we are so good about remembering, like, we're each other's best friends.
You're a
Like,
team.
nobody is going to get through this day with this child and know exactly the way he works. Like, nobody knows that better than the other.
You too.
Yeah. And so, like, I don't know. I really just think it's all about how you communicate. Like,
If you don't communicate and figure that out, that's where that resentment comes in that we kind of talked about earlier. If one person's carrying like a majority of the load, you know what I mean? So it's truly just about that open line of communication, I think.
mm-hmm.
All right, let's go into faith and heart questions. How do you keep faith alive in the chaos? We go to church. We are routinely there. We were at 3 days of surge this weekend with church. We didn't make church Sunday morning because we had a wrestling match. But we do Wednesday night services. We kind of live for those, honestly.
Yeah, so literally Wednesday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday
We have it
morning.
chiseled into our schedule, basically.
Yeah, I
This
don't
one's
like to miss
tough.
my church.
I mean, we definitely, church on Sundays have definitely become a better priority in our lives. So we've been doing that consistently for a while. But I'm stuck in a rut. If you don't want my honest opinion, I've been stuck in a rut, trying to make time for the Bible. I'm gonna be honest. It's tough. It's tough, putting everything else aside, and it shouldn't be. I think that's why I fight a lot. Is that it shouldn't be that hard.
yeah.
Why in the world do I have plenty of time to make time to spend time with our Lord and Savior? He saved my life. I can actually get into heaven now. So it's a very selfish on my end to not make more time. That's something that I'm struggling with currently.
Yeah, you got about eight-ish months-ish till Woven Weekend, and you're coming with us.
Yeah, there's
be
no, it's a non-negotiable this year.
you
So
go.
figure it out.
Nothing fills your cup more than this ladies' weekend.
bet
I'm telling you what.
I bet. I mean, anytime I go to church or anytime I'm involved, or I remember there was a really good point in time where I was at home with Evie, but every time she'd nap, I would open the Bible and I'd do like a study by myself. And I always remember being so fulfilled. I always remember having this peace and not having rage, like the mom rage. It was so controllable, all that stuff. And as soon as I started going away from that, that's when it all came back.
Yeah.
So I know it's good for me. It's just right now
Prioritizing.
I am very selfish right now is what's happening.
You're going to have to make that weekend possible. All right, next one. What do you do when you feel like you're failing? Ugh. try to climb out, try to breathe, try to find, like I find a little, a blurb, like a connection point to a Bible verse. Go read that.
Yeah.
I feel like those connecting words.
Praying.
You can figure out you're not alone.
Praying, asking God, and really just trying not to get caught up on the guilt of failing and realizing that each day is a whole new reset tomorrow, you know?
Yeah. Grace over guilt.
For sure.
Confession time. All right, as a mom, we've all had those moments where we've had to fib, give a little bit of a white lie. Is that what they're called?
Oh, yeah. I just had that the other day. Bentley wanted a loaded tea and wanted caffeine in it. And I said, oh, yeah, I'll get you a little caffeine. I didn't.
You got him one and it wasn't loaded?
No, and he acted like it was loaded. He's acting off the wall. I was like, now you wonder why I don't give you caffeine.
Right?
This would make perfect sense as to why I don't.
Because it's not real. Like, you're going to act the same way. We've had to tell our kids sometimes, like, a place is closed and it's really not closed. Like,
It's one of those, like,
why do we do that? It's not like they can drive themselves there anyways.
Yeah. It's one of those things that that's a double-edged sword for me. Like, I'm like, why lie instead of just being straight up front? But sometimes it's one of those things where it's like, do I want to pick this battle right
You don't
now?
want to hear about it.
Do I want to pick this battle right now? I got all this other stuff. We'll next time.
I can't wait to see what pops up that I have to like fib about with Langston.
I don't know. And he's going to be such that innocent, pure mind too, because he don't have like older siblings to dampen that. You know what I mean?
He's the cutest.
I can't look at him